Alright, so there is a lot of things going on all at once here, so it was time to make this video because one, we have PreachCon coming up in 2 weeks, and that means Andy can't move the camera slightly this way because we've hidden a lot of stuff because we're about to go in the office. Also, we are hosting SGDQ this week, which is a big charity event. It also gives us time to prepare for PreachCon, and of course I'm going on vacation for the first time in 2 years. Couple of days after PreachCon, so there's a ton of YouTube stuff to get ready for that. And on top of that, we're looking to move. Many of you are aware that we are outgrown. We have outgrown our space, so Elgato sent us some cool things to put into our stream setup so we can show you how we do our dual stream setup, because a lot of people have issues with that. Most people stream just themselves, but when you mix other people's in, it gets complicated. So we're going to show all those things today. Welcome to PG Towers. Let's go. Hi. Welcome to PG Towers. Smooth edit, by the way. So we have done an office tour before, but it's changed significantly, and the team has changed. Andy's coming up on 2 years of being here, and in that time we've kind of really outgrown everything. And of course, many of you want to know, what do we play on? What hardware do we use? All that kind of stuff. So let's start with Andy's PC. I believe he's strategically planned this so you can't see his board, which has all the PreachCon stuff on it. So first of all, Andy's PC is the most powerful gaming machine in here, but it's because it's an editing workstation. Andy's running an 8700K Intel. He's got 64 gigs of RAM, an 850 Evo SSD. That's because he does all the special effects stuff with the heavy render cycles and stuff. It makes life so much easier when Andy's doing that stuff to have a very powerful machine. So we upgraded recently. Some other things he's got is the BenQ XL series. We both use these monitors, we swear by them, we've recommended them to the community, so many of you have bought them. They're 144Hz, very important, and he's running an Asus Strix 1080 in his machine, graphics card. But the colour reproduction, everything when Andy's doing stuff is so important to have that. But some little things then. Andy's microphone is an AT20 Audio-Technica XLR mic. This will go to our mixer, we'll show you in a second, but stupidly, actually, this is a pretty standard microphone for streamers. This arm, you've probably seen it everywhere. This is really important. If you guys want to get into streaming, finding a good microphone arm is key. We've been through a lot of them. Andy will back us up on this. I think we've been through 5 or 6 different microphone arms. Yeah. The problem is the microphones are very heavy, and if you get a cheaper one, they don't do what this is doing, which is stopping exactly where you want it to stop. They bounce, they sag, they do all kinds of crazy things, and a lot of them are really awkward to put on. The Rode mics, that's what the Rode mic stands are the first ones you'd see if you looked on Amazon. These are the ones that are perfect, and this is why you'll see these heavily used across a lot of streamers, is purely for that. Andy's choice of keyboard and mouse is different. One is left-handed, so this is the Death Adder.
Left-handed Death Adder, yeah.
Left-handed Death Adder, and the keyboard is the Razer
Deathstalker.
The Deathstalker. Now, he didn't go with Razer out of any fanboys, and we actually went, when Andy started, to a store that had all the keyboards of every manufacturer out, all the mice, and we pressed them. It's what you need to do to find your perfect keyboard. Everyone likes a different keyboard. With recording, we can't use mechanical keyboards because you'd hear so much clicking going on. So we have to look for a very quiet keyboard that feels very comfortable. Andy chose this one, that's why he uses that. You'll also notice here, this has changed our world, the Elgato Stream Decks. Okay, so Elgato are sponsoring this video. They did not send us these. We bought these, and they changed everything. So, retard.
What?
So these control our stream for Andy. Now, we both have one. You'll see one on my desk shortly. And these control... Our stream setup is a little complicated, so we have different profiles for me and Andy. So a lot of his buttons tie to his individual stream profile. So when you see all the things with the Terminator thumb and all those kind of things, they're all programmed through there. Any sound effects that we want to use, what personal to us, because we try and keep our streams as unique as possible. Those are all done through there. All our capture stuff and ingest is done through these. These are very cheap from Amazon. Cotops. They capture any type of card we use. We use a variety of different cameras and USB hubs for SD cards and all that kind of stuff. So as you can imagine, SD cards are just flying around this place in a lot of cases if we're filming a legacy or something like that. The side monitors, a lot of people ask what should you use. These are super cheap. Like 90 quid monitors. That's all you need for side monitors. Your main one, obviously if you're gaming, has got to be important. But these things, don't invest a lot of money in them. A lot of people are asking like, should I get 2 of the BenQs? No, no, not at all. Just get some nice cheap ones. These are like 90 quid a piece. They're just basic 1080p monitors. Most of the time they're going to have, if you're editing, they might have like I don't know, you might have like Twitter open or YouTube or something like that, or you'll just have like a modification screen for editing, something where you're panning, cropping or masking or something. They don't need to be mega. Your main one does though. Andy's camera is a very cheap Canon camera. Actually, we had a much better camera, but it just recently broke, which was a real bummer. But for what we're using at the moment, this was fine. I think this was about 110 quid, something like that. Really basic 1080p camera.
Works perfectly.
Works perfectly. All we needed was an HDMI out. And the way camcorders are right now, unless you're doing really heavy film production, the basic handheld cameras are really good quality for 1080p. So 1080p is considered quite old school now, and it's more than enough for streaming. That's absolutely more than enough. So Andy's PC sits here. I want to point out some little things that we've bought recently for a couple of quid that just made everything so much easier. One of these little headphone stands from Amazon. I think they're about 3 quid a piece. But having the exact place you would like to put your headphones is really important. And also these little phone charge docks. We used to throw cables and stuff around the office in the rain.
You're pressing
I'm
Ray.
Sorry, pal, I'm sorry.
Oh my, you've just messed everything up.
There's no news.
I'm sorry, Ray.
Sorry, Ray. Is just made life, it's one of those little conveniences that's so much better, so we can just dock them in there and make them better. Yep. Andy's headphones, actually. Andy was using the SteelSeries Esports Edition. It recently broke as well. Just the wire connection broke out. This was Emma's headset that she bought. We have given away a number of Hyperx headsets, but this wasn't one of them. This was one that Emma actually bought herself. Andy gave it a try because you were midstream when it broke. Yeah. So we just threw these over, like just plugged them in, and found them way more comfy and way louder, which Andy loves really loud audio. So that's what Andy's using. I forget the name of it, but Hyperx, good people. They gave us some stuff to give away to you guys, which was awesome. I want to point this out. So the reason we make this video is inside Andy's PC as well as an Elgato 4K HD 60 Pro. These were given to us by Elgato, so thank you very much for that. Now we are going to be giving away at the end of this video the contents of these boxes, which are the HD 60 Pros, not the 4K ones. They're perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with them at all. But obviously for streaming and stuff, we got the 4Ks off Elgato. Thank you to that. So we will be giving away 2 of these at the end of the video. But again, they're the HD 60s that are in there, not the 4K ones. Not the 4K ones. Yeah, Skamaz. The heart of the operation then, Mr. Streamzilla. So this is the most powerful machine, I guess. It's a 5826 core inside there. This was a nightmare to set up. Some of you know this already, but dual streaming, by dual streaming what we mean is, we have Andy's screen and his camcorder feeds into Streamzilla, and my camcorder and my stream feeds into Streamzilla, and all our audio feeds into Streamzilla. What this allows us to do is to control the stream from one source, and we can mix multiple points of view. So if you watch Far Cry 5 or A Way Out, we can stream simultaneously very smoothly. It's what we wanted for co-op plays, be able to do that. That unfortunately creates a lot of problems. So originally we thought you needed just a good processor, so we got one. Turns out you also need a really good graphics card if you want to push this system to the max, and we do push this system to the max. So it has a 980 in there, and I know you're thinking, that's so... I want that graphics card. You're right, it's a really good graphics card. But we tried a cheap graphics card, garbage, really caused a lot of problems. We tried a 580, GT 580, I think, Andy's old graphics card from his home PC. That was garbage as well. Then we put the 980 in there, and then we saw the results we needed. So if anyone's telling you just get a good processor for a stream PC, you need a good graphics card in there as well, especially if you're going to use it well. So Streamzilla actually has 3 functions. One, it's the stream. It also locally records everything we stream simultaneously. So if Twitch ever mutes anything, so Drama Time, for example, gets muted quite a lot, things like that, then it automatically locally records it as we're streaming, so we have an archive of that. And it also acts as our first step of local backup, so we don't lose anything. So we have an offsite backup and the local backup. It goes into there. That's our archive. That's how that works. It's controlled up here on these 2 TVs. I suppose we should give... You can't really see it. Oh yeah, you can. To the scratch that many of our long-time fans know about. This happened when we decorated this office, this scratch. But it doesn't ruin the TV by any means. It's totally fine. But this is the Streamzilla output. So as you can see, these are on swivel stands. Because if I'm streaming, I need to see my stream control, and if Andy's streaming, he needs to see his. So they go and fold to the person that's currently streaming, or both of us if we're both streaming, so we can see what we're actually streaming. But what you'll also notice on top of here is a Logitech C920. Now this is for some stuff that we're doing soon. that's difficult to do in this room, but we're trying our best to make it work. But this actually focuses on this monstrosity here, which is our green screen wall. It's a mess, we know.
It's a Frankenstein of green screens.
It's the best we could do with what we had available. So it's actually 2 prop-up fold-out green screens and a green screen sheet. And this solves so many problems. As much as it's horrific to look at, for us, like this is what we see every day, you guys don't see this, it solves a lot of problems with moving the cameras, and also with that webcam up there, we can film against this green screen on demand. So they're going to be mixing some stuff in with the stream in order to make that work. The other reason we use the Elgato's capture cards, the 4Ks, is from this. So all our consoles are here. F for the Xbox. We haven't turned this on in a year. This thing gets used every week. The PS4 Pro gets used every single week. The PlayStation 3 has been used magnitudes more times than the Xbox One. We recently did Silent Hill, the franchise playthrough, we did a Metal Gear playthrough, most of that through the PlayStation 3. What we have here is a very simple solution that solved us a huge amount of problems with moving consoles and wires. Is we've got a little HDMI port switcher, we velcroed it to the wall. It has all the consoles feeding into it, so it's Switch, you can see the Nintendo Switch is there, we have a PlayStation 3, and the PS4, so the Xbox isn't plugged in right now. And all we do is to swap the output. So this output is mine right now, and there's actually Andy's right here. And these are velcroed to the wall with wire holders, so they never disappear. We're never far away. So if we ever need to stream a console, it's a case of just swapping this, and the whole setup still works. Which, without moving anything, everything's plugged in. There's a load of stuff going on behind the scenes with plugs and stuff and Ethernet. But everything works straight away. We just done, and the next person can stream. Last time you came here, this is all PreachCon stuff, by the way. So this is why this is all hidden. This is the stuff. There is no more room outside of the room to put stuff. These were all for display. We originally got this shelving for practicality and display. It's 90% practicality at this point. The only thing we still have on display, because we don't want to put them in storage, is the VR headsets. We have the Vive, the Rift, and the PSVR. The Oculus was provided to us by Oculus, and Sony sent us the PSVR. We bought the Vive. We don't VR a lot, but we love VR. Both me and Andy really love VR. We've done some very cool things in there. But we don't want to, obviously, we don't use the Rift or the PSVR that much, but it's not a case that they're too expensive to just go and stick in our storage, which is the garage, which has all our props, clothes, cloaks, all our old equipment. There's a lot of shelving in the garage which holds a huge amount of stuff. So, moving along then, these, like I said, these have changed to practicality. What you can actually see is that we've got rid of all the display stuff, pretty much. Every single one of these boxes now, it has a purpose. So they're all labeled. We bought a label maker.
We did.
We bought a label maker. So VR box, controllers, audio, video. We have 2 little personal boxes here to dump stuff. And then we have the Labo stuff, which you've seen on Patreon. If you're one of our Patreons, you'll have seen this. Me and Andy building the piano, which was magic. It was really good. If you have kids, it's really good. I actually tried it with my kids and built the motorbike yesterday, actually. I did this with my boys yesterday, and it was fantastic. I thought it was going to be a nightmare, but it wasn't too bad at all. Audio then. We use this Behringer mixer. We did have a very simple one to start with, but we've had to upgrade it because we had to keep, again, swapping cables all the time. It adds so much time to everything you do if you're constantly swapping cables. It's a real problem. So Andy's audio feeds into here, my audio feeds into here, and then when we're doing co-op, obviously, then we have both audio feeds simultaneously. If we're doing co-op with somebody else, so we recently did it with Slootbag and Noble, we have a Discord on here, which is Streamzilla. So that's our audio going into there, and then we have our local Discord, so that works well for the stream. We have this roaming mic, which again, with the webcam, you can see already, we've got a webcam and a green screen. There's no reason, should something happen, I can't cut straight to the Blizzard offices and do a news report or something like that, right? So we've got a lot of fun lined up with this because we can be at a volcano, we can be anywhere we want to be. We can do really cool stuff with this on demand while streaming, which would be awesome. And we also have another input which is for the web show. Let's talk about this stuff here. So this is the PreachCon stuff. This is the fan because this room is so hot. It's crazy. So hot with all this equipment going. 2 grown men in here shouting and calling each other names all day. It gets so hot and sweaty. So we do have a fan for the summer. This is going to be for the TDP. I'm going to put an image on here of all the different classes, and then we can spin the wheel. It's blocked right now, but it does spin. It does spin. And that will allow us to vary up the classes for the TDP, so I'm not just playing the same things over and over again. And it should be a bit of a fun, little fun addition there when that's finally sorted, and we'll get that done. But the web show's also here. If you've seen the web show, this is how we film it. So we have the webcam on here, then we have all this, we take this out. Every web show, we strip the whole room out, then we put a big table up, then we put a monitor on here, we put the keyboard and the mouse, then we have the webcam, then we put our chairs in here, and you can see we'll be like this. Doing the web show like this, and it gets very cramped and very awkward. And then of course, after the web show, we tear all that down, we bring it all back in, all this stuff back in, because my kitchen is then full of stuff in order to do, which is not ideal. As you can probably imagine, it's a big pain to do that. Oh, hello there. Welcome to my side of the office. So my equipment is slightly different. My PC is actually the weakest. So there's an 8700K in Andy's, a 5820K 6-core in Streamzilla. Mine's a 6700K. Still very powerful, it's totally fine, but I don't do the really heavy lifting when it comes to processing power. So mine's the weaker one, but I have the better microphone. Yes!
Consolation prize.
So I changed. I did have the AT20, and we got this as a test to see if it would make a noticeable difference. I believe it does, so we're probably going to change Andy's soon. It's the Shure SM7B. You would have seen these on Joe Rogan, the H3 podcast. These are the big dog podcasting microphones. They're very cool. As you can see, I green screened my arm. So now you know why it floats. Just wrapping some cloth around it made that work. I have the Stream Deck as well, same thing. This is the keyboard and mouse we use for Streamzilla. It's Garbo, you know it, Logitech. You know it. It's the cheapest one you could get, but it works perfectly. Because if I'm streaming, I need the keyboard and mouse. If Andy's streaming, we throw this thing across the office all the time. Mouse, I need to get something out of the archive, throw the mouse back, throw the keyboard back, label audio, because our audio goes into Streamzilla from the mixer. Then we need to pull the files from there and do that kind of stuff. So we throw this around, running the web show, the whole shabazz. We throw it constantly. So the wireless works really good for us. I also run the VR from my PC. I see the Vive box on there, but I try and keep the cables really minimal. In fact, the only cable in the front of my PC is my gym headphones. Everything else is blank. I actually want to get rid of that as well, because it triggers me. There's this one USB lead. Same with the BenQ. Once again, the cheap monitors on the side. I use a better camcorder. It's the Canon HX100. Andy's was one step down from this one, but with the directional mic. We recently got a Canon DSLR, which is what you're watching this on. And the reason we did that is every time we wanted to film, as you've seen in our videos where we film here, or we go and do something like this, we would have to tear this out, set up the tripod, do our filming, and we might be doing this before the stream. We actually try and get as much done in the 30 minutes before the stream starts. We start work at 8 AM, our stream is at 8:30. So you can imagine we come in, we've done this so many times, is come out, camera set up in here, film something, make sure we nail it, put it all back again as quickly as possible, realign the cameras for where the streams are set up and things like that. Then, like, very quickly we'll be going live. So that if you see the streams, sometimes we'll say we're going to be 10 minutes. It's because we're like trying to get something done beforehand. So Andy's working on that through the day, which we'll come to in a second. My area is technically the dumping ground. Behind here is where we charge all the controllers. We've run out of space so much. This is the only place we can do that. These docking stations are the dream, though, are they not? They have pulled us out of this shit so many times. They're very cheap Amazon docking stations, like £10 a piece. And the printer and all that for actual office work is all stuff behind it. So I can't see it, but I know it's there and it's doing its job. Similar again, headphone stand. I hide my headphones down here. I love this. I don't know if you can get a shot of this. I actually got a massive USB extender, fed it all the way around my desk, and then did these Velcro cable tie. I did 2 of them, so I could charge my headphones there, because I use the Logitech G933 wireless. It served me really well. This is where I keep all my stuff. Now, it's also a dumping ground. Down here is all our microphone stands, camera tripods. You can see these are good quality camera tripods for when we're going outside and filming. But this is the only space left for them, is it just gets shoved down there and out the way, which is not good because these things are actually pretty expensive, but whatever, that's what you're going to do. Along with business stuff thrown in there. Under my desk, again, I'm trying to show you what little space we've got. Under my desk is actually another PC. So the idea before we were going to move was that I would have a PC that was super light. This is the worst case we could buy. And drag it around, and I could go and set up in the bathroom or something like that. And record WoW videos while Andy was streaming. We also have the web show monitor, so if you see me kick something and go, ugh, I'm actually kicking a screen. We're going to give that away, actually. We're giving that away to somebody at PreachCon. Under Andy's desk is, what's under there, pal?
Oh, God.
Yeah?
I can't. Let me see it before I sell it you. Okay. So the blue box in the shoe box is all the current PreachCon print stuff that I'm working on. Behind there is about 7 Nerf rifles. There's a Reaper box. And these boxes here contain my hats and potential props.
Potential. These are the current props, like I said.
The current ones, yeah.
We've moved 2 or 3 offices worth of stuff into the garage, and they're all on shelving units there. And that's just more stuff there. So as you can see, the reason we're moving out of here is actually something that's just arrived.
I've been looking for an office this morning.
Let's show her. Here she is. There's actually no room for our 3rd member of staff.
And she looks so happy.
Trying to find an office.
Trying to find an office. So Emma has obviously no space to work in here. But before we wrap up in here, we actually have the PreachCon signage up here. So you probably saw the one for this year. We've shown it off on stream. But we put these on the wall. There's actually a number of things behind it. We have BlizzCon behind here. We have the company start update on here. The play button is all under there. Also, we have the Vive boxes up in the corners, and this lighting and this Wi-Fi booster were really cool. So these are all fixed because our lighting in here is the worst. We have deals with sunlight, we have deals with all sorts. Andy has one as well just above Emma. Those are fixed, and I drilled through the walls to feed those cables. But this is how we do it. This is how we get it done. So the idea is when we stream, we both can do that and then we can feed back to there. But it obviously creates massive problems. If Andy's streaming for whatever, if anybody's streaming, the other person has to be quiet all the time. There's nothing you can do because the other person's streaming. So if them two needs to talk or I need to do audio, it's impossible. It just can't be done because the stream's going on 6 to 8 hours a day. That's why you'll see me say to Andy, we need to stop streaming now because we've got it's 3 hours left maybe of the day to try and get the video done, out, uploaded, edited, all those things. Especially if we're doing audio because it's all set up in here, which is why I have like a roaming PC, I've got a laptop to try and, I've recorded in the bedroom before now with a little pop-up Yeti microphone just to try and get things done, but it's not ideal. And obviously we don't have Emma in here either, so communication's bad, really bad. So that's why we're looking to move, because we're now going to bring everything back in here and fill this office up again. This is actually tidy. You might think this is annoying, but this is actually tidy. This is our tidy minimalist office right now. To show you this. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Elgato for sending us these. I'll put a tweet link down below so you can tweet out and you can get the HD60 Pros that are inside here. Again, it's not the 4Ks, they're in ours. It's the HD60s, which are perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine, no problem. They just came straight out of our machines. Thank you very much, guys. See you again. Anything to add, Andy? You good?
No, mate.
We didn't really talk about your statues.
Don't touch my shelf.
Don't touch my shelf, and that'll do. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. So we shot that office tour 2 days ago, and it's supposed to go out in 3 hours, and we just had a delivery from Blizzard. Now, many of you believe that probably Blizzard on the outs with us, but they're not. We're critical for good reason. And they sent us this gift because they knew we were getting a new office. So they sent us this. I do know what this is because it's written on the side.
It's a Funko.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was when it first arrived. A Funko, you think so? So I'm going to try and get this out for you guys without looking like
come around.
A complete tool.
She's a big bitch.
Oh!
Let me get her on again.
Look at this! My God, would you look at this? It is the super expensive Sylvanas statue. Thank you, Blizzard, for this. And it's kind of awkward because we can't get it out. It's the ultimate cock tease for you guys. I'm really sorry. We can't get this out because it's huge and we have nowhere to put it.
It's going to be cherry for the office.
It's going to be cherry for the office. We will have this on prominent display in our office and we will show you guys when we get it out. Exactly how cool it is, but these are gorgeous. We actually almost bought one when we were talking about a new office because there's an Illidan one as well. Blizz. It's an Illidan one as well. But thank you for this with Blizzard, because I can't wait to get this out. But as you can see, it's huge, and we wouldn't be able to safely have it out, so we can't get it out just yet. But we will. We will. We promise. You can't wait, can you?
No.
No. As you've seen, man likes his statues. So thank you, Blizz. Back in the box.
Come on, love. Time's time.
Time's time.
Get her a taxi and a kebab.
Up you get.